What's going on, everyone? My name is Lalit, and today we'll be walking through in real time, step by step, how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, Gemini, and Cash App. I've been involved with crypto for almost 10 years, and in the last few years, I've been buying, selling, trading, investing so heavily in cryptocurrency. And so, at the end of this video, I want to share some perspective on what I think about these three apps, some pros, some cons, some of my personal experience, etc. But with that, let's jump straight into it. You know how it is. Let's do it. So we start off with Coinbase. So over here, this is what you see when you first open the app on the home screen. But to buy Bitcoin, there's different ways to do it, but I'll press Bitcoin and I'll press trade. And from here, we can do buy BTC with cash. And I have $10 in the account over here. So one-time purchase is what I'll do. I'll buy $1 of Bitcoin, preview the buy, and so we don't support total smaller than $1.99, okay? So let's do $2, preview buy. And so they're saying at that price, it's going to execute 11,662, pay with the cash we have in the account, purchase $1.01, Coinbase fee is 99 cents. Obviously, this is almost like a 50% fee, so I'm going to do it for this video just to show the end-to-end process. But generally, I would never burn money this way, so please leave a like if you appreciate this. Buy now. Okay, so that's purchased. Okay, want to buy Bitcoin every week? Let's not do it right now. So there it is. It's in this account, $1.01, and it's as easy as that. So let's move on. So before moving on, I wanted to go over the pricing and the fees behind these purchases per exchange. So looking at Coinbase, because our transaction was less than $10, we did incur that fee of 99 cents. And if it was between $10 and $25, $1.49. On the other hand, more than 25 but less than 50, it would have been $1.99. And if the total transaction amount was more than 50 but less than 200, it would be $2.99. And so there is a variable percentage here of 1.49%, which is charged depending on the dollar amount and depending on where the flat fee is. So if the flat fee is larger or bigger than that 1.49%, then that's what will be charged. So for example, if it's a $1,000 purchase, that fee would be $14.99. So we'll come right back to my face and the screen recording you saw on screen, but unfortunately the app Gemini, this is what it looks like. They have a security protocol where when I'm screen recording, basically the screen would show up as black after the fact. So at the top, let's get straight into it. At the top, we see earn $10 in Bitcoin when you invite a friend and they trade $100 in 30 days. So if you're interested, affiliate links down below. But if we press Bitcoin over here, this is the price, and we can press buy over here, and I'll do it once. So if I put in $1 in this case, and I press continue, it says invalid amount, please enter an amount greater than $2. So let me just do $2 exactly, and it does go through. Order quantity, $1.01, transaction fee, 99 cents, total due, $2. I had $5 in here, I did this before, anyhow. Here we are, $3 remaining, $2 to go, swipe to confirm, boom. Oh, no. Oh, yes. So, and there you go. Your buy order is complete. You purchased this much for $2, and then going over the fee structure for Gemini. Over here, basically, if it's less than $10, we incur a transaction fee of 99 cents. 10 to 25, so the same range as Coinbase. 10, 25, 25, 50, 50 to 100. Basically $1.49, $1.99, and then that $2.99 of 50 to 200, and on 200, 1.49 of the mobile order value. So there's been a lot of talk about how Gemini is trying to compete with Coinbase and try to keep that same type of market competition. Moving on to the infamous Cash App. This is the home screen over here, and on this tab over here, you can see there's an option by stocks or Bitcoin. So we're in the Bitcoin tab, and we can press buy, and we have some options over here. So if I do $1, I put it in, press next. I'm going to confirm that action. Alright, so buying this amount, this is the exchange rate, buying 97 cents. So here the fee is 3 cents, which in this case is 3%, which is far, far, far better than the fixed fees we've been incurring with Coinbase and Gemini. Press confirm. And that's it, you purchased it. I wanted to show this part, which I found really interesting, which I couldn't do in Coinbase because I didn't have X amount of US dollars in the account to actually see what would happen. So for example, if I buy, let's just say $1,000, right? if I do next and I do this, just to take the point home, basically these fees, $17.62 on a total cost of 1,000 is roughly 1.762%. So from that perspective, as the orders get bigger, I would say 1.49% is actually better on Coinbase Gemini. But then here it is more. So that's just a small takeaway that I wanted to compare in that angle. So that's a start to finish of buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, Gemini, Cash App. And what I wanted to talk about now is basically two angles. One is trading, and the second is withdrawal slash deposits of sending and receiving the Bitcoin. So on the first angle with trading, basically, I don't think that it's a great solution to trade on any of these three. And frankly, it's just those simple, just the fees. If you'd have those small orders, it doesn't make sense that huge percentage of fee eating into your actual purchase amount. But when you take it from a bigger perspective, there's platforms that exist for trading, whether you're trading Bitcoin or altcoins, cryptocurrency in general. Robinhood is a platform that is not good for actually buying Bitcoin and storing it personally, but for trading, there's zero commissions. You can buy it, sell it, make money, get out really fast. So what do I mean? With Robinhood, the difference is compared to the other three, what you cannot do is basically transfer Bitcoin back and forth. When you buy Bitcoin on Robinhood, it's not really yours. You're just buying the right to sell it again at a future time. You cannot transfer your Bitcoin out. You cannot transfer it out to buy altcoins. It's just like a virtual number almost, where if it goes up, you can sell it. Yeah, you do get real cash. But if you want to ever keep your actual cryptocurrency for yourself or for other purposes, it's not happening with Robinhood, at this time at least in 2020. So coming back to the story with these three, Gemini, Cash App, Coinbase, you do have the capability to send your Bitcoin anywhere you want, whether that's to other exchanges, to another person, to another wallet you personally may have. You can do it on your offline storage wallet, etc. So when you're actually buying Bitcoin on these three, you actually own that Bitcoin. So that's the biggest difference, I would say, from these three versus Robinhood, where Robinhood may be better for trading, but from an actual utility perspective on like knowing that the coin is yours, these three are the way to go. And so talking about convenience, they are quite convenient. They're also the hallmark standard of kind of the industry right now when you come to mobile apps and buying Bitcoin and actually executing these type of orders here in the United States. So what do you need to know before you're able to execute these trades? Basically, there's a process in cryptocurrency, but in the financial industry in general, which is known as KYC/AML, which stands for Know Your Customer and Anti-Money Laundering. So basically, it's a vetting process where you'll upload your driver's license / identification, and there's some background checks run / essentially a vetting process to allow you to be able to trade. And because cryptocurrency / Bitcoin in general is known to be anonymous, this way it still is anonymous, but from I would say a financial safety perspective, whichever way you look at it, whether it's on the exchanges side or the actual person-to-person individual side, this process exists, and it does take just a little time. That time length, it depends. It could be around 2 days, 3 days, a week. So I would say that with Coinbase and Cash App and Gemini, to my memory, it took me around 2 to 3 days, up to a week. I made these accounts a few years ago, and so I don't really remember, and I hope it's even faster today. So after you're done with the KYC AML step, basically the next step is getting money into your exchange to actually buy the Bitcoin. That process can take anywhere from 3 to 5 days just because of ACH transfers, aka automated clearinghouse, which is basically saying that, hey, my money's going from my checking account into this exchange, and it takes X amount of days for that to happen. Now, if you want it even faster, I would say that you can do it a few ways, but I'm speaking to Cash App specifically. Naturally, you can have a friend, Cash App money to you. You can have a different friend transfer money to you on Cash App. No, not a good example. If you can get someone to send you money into Cash App, well, if that's cash, then you'll have cash in your balance and you'll be able to buy that Bitcoin once you're approved. In the other two, I wouldn't say it's that simple because it's not really how you can get US dollars into Gemini or Coinbase, because they're not really a P2P transfer app, peer-to-peer transfer, where Cash App / Venmo is peer-to-peer, where I can send it to you and vice versa. So overall, Coinbase versus Gemini versus Cash App, I think in the end they all have their place. I would say that Gemini and Coinbase are more similar, while Cash App is more flexible. I would say, and it could be because of that peer-to-peer difference. So there is an advantage there, as you can see. I would say that on Cash App, on the smaller orders, it makes more sense there versus on not the smaller orders where if it's a bigger order, we saw the numbers where maybe it makes more sense to buy through Coinbase or Gemini. Overall, if you come this far, I just wanted to leave y'all with a little surprise, and just thanks for watching. But yeah, this is like a little outro. So see you next time, and hope this helped.